Alright guys, welcome back to God of War 2. Last time we met in God of War 2. I had a bit of an idiot moment and decided to just run off a cliff, but Kratos is feeling much better now. Remember guys, whenever you kill Kratos, he'll be back in about 15 minutes. Probably with more upgrades and very pissed off. And I was only doing that because I was trying to activate an Easter egg that I had no reason to try activate because, well, you can't activate it until after this next boss fight. Yeah, we also, but realistically, actually, we did just arrive to the Palace of Destiny or whatever it's called, which is, you know, just another I-beam puzzle similar to what we dealt with at the Gate of Atropos or whatever it's called. And right now we are actually just heading back. We are actually solving a bit of a puzzle in order to get to our next boss fight. Yeah, because that's I didn't mention this back at when we first arrived here, is that there is actually a person asking, screaming for help whenever we were in the atrium. Like, he was like, hello, is someone there? Well, yeah, there is a guy there. And by the way, I think I fucked this puzzle up again because there's a treasure chest here that I completely ignored. And yeah. But yeah, this puzzle's not that. It's not really a puzzle anyway. What you're doing is you're standing on this button until the branches come out, and then you just run on the branches while it, you know, recedes. But there's a certain path you have to go because the branches only come out with certain buttons and yada yada yada. And obviously you're going to be using the time slowdown mechanic in order to do so because the tree branches are just too fast, especially when you're running on them like that. When you're running on them. At the point they're coming, if in the direction they're coming out. When they're going in, you can run on them just fine because, you know, Kratos is just fast enough to do that. Though that doesn't stop my hands from sweating a little bit. But yeah. So, I guess I should probably talk about the last part. I did bring up the inevitable MCU tangent, but I'm going to bring it up again because at the time of recording, I have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. I won't spoil anything, obviously, because, you know, there is a lot to spoil, and, I mean, well, I know that one of the big things that people are going to go around spoiling already was something everyone kind of already knew, or was guessing since Sadie Sink was announced to be in the movie. But without getting into spoiler territory, I loved it. I would say I am actually planning on seeing it again soon because, of course, I am. I loved it that much. I tend to go see Spider-Man movies multiple times in theaters if possible. Like, I think I saw Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse at least twice, and then Across the Spider-Verse like fucking 4 times. And then, well, my friends and I, we have a plan. We're going to go see Odyssey and Brand New Day on the same day. So we're going to have like we're going to be in the theater for like 8 hours.
No! That door was my only escape. I have faced test after test in search of the sisters. And now you have dashed it all away. You certainly do not live up to your reputation, ghost of Sparta. But perhaps this is a test. Are you watching me now, sisters? Give me a sign! Am I, the great Perseus, to kill this fallen god to receive an audience with you? Will that allow me to bring my love back from the grasp of Hades himself? If not, at least I can bathe in the glory of being the one who brought down the mighty Kratos, the slayer of gods. Although I hardly think a Harpy's fool such as yourself deserves such praise.
So you're gonna fight me with a jockstrap and a hat? Okay. Anyway. What was I saying? We are planning on seeing Odyssey. I've seen Odyssey already. I loved Odyssey, actually. I guess I could talk about Odyssey, because that is technically related. I mean, is technically related, I guess you could say. And I loved the movie. I really did. I thought it was a great movie. One of the best I've seen of the year so far. And I've watched quite a few movies this year, actually. You know, I always say to myself, I don't go to the theaters that often, but I go a lot more than I thought I did. Because, like, when I went on vacation, I actually saw, like, 3 movies in one day at a theater when I was on vacation, because I saw He-Man, I saw the Masters of the Universe movie, despite not knowing any fucking thing about that franchise, besides the fact that He-Man's a thing, and Skeletor is a major meme in it. I also watched Obsession, and, what was the other one? Backrooms. I watched all those, and I really liked it. And I was going to watch Michael. I wanted to watch that movie, but yeah. But I actually watched Odyssey in IMAX. I don't think it was 70mm because the theater I go to doesn't offer that. I don't think any theater in Oklahoma does, except for maybe one in like fucking Tulsa or some shit. I don't know. But I saw it in IMAX, and I thought it was a really good time. It was a really nice movie. I really enjoyed it. You know, I love Christopher Nolan movies. Like, I really do. He's one of my favorite directors, so. Then again, it's really hard. It's not. I don't really have keep track of who my favorite directors are, but usually there's a lot of directors that There's a few directors where if I hear that they're making a movie, I watch the trailer, and if it looks good, I might go out of my way to see it. But Christopher Nolan, typically, whenever I see his name pop up, I typically go out of my way to see it, especially if it's about something that interests me. Like I went out of my way to see Oppenheimer because I was fascinated by it. You know, I'm a sucker for World War II history. I guess I should talk about the boss fight. Yeah, we're fighting Perseus, by the way. The boss is not hard. It's a one-on-one fight, and really the only phase that was probably a major pain in the ass was when he was invisible, because the only way you could track him was the footsteps on the ground because of the pool. This phase kind of sucks too, though it kind of looks badass because he keeps parrying everything. But this boss is not hard. Not at all. I'm just resorting to using the bow. Channeling my inner Atreus. Yeah, and then when he stuns you like that, he'll throw his jockstrap at you or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, when he does that, you just gotta wiggle the analog sticks, and this is the QTE. I like how he was drowning, but he was clearly out of the air. His head was clearly out of the water for a second. Ooh. Ooh. Poor kid. The Shield of Perseus. No, we do not keep the shield. That is actually the other thing we need in order to destroy the I-beams here. So, sorry, we're not keeping it. We already have our parry for the game. And in all honesty, that would have been a cool skin for the shield back in God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. The Percy, especially after the in Valhalla or something like that. That'd be your reward. That'd be one of your rewards for it. Okay, now I'm actually going out of my way to activate the Easter egg because now we can trigger it. Because this Easter egg is a pretty simple one. I started doing it last part, but I didn't realize that I didn't have the means to do it. I didn't activate the trigger for it. So after you defeat Perseus, what you have to do is there are 3 points on the way to his way to his boss fight arena that you have to stand out on and press the R1 button, and you have to do it within about a minute, I would say. So the first one is right here. You press R1. I usually mash the hell out of it for a couple seconds and then go. And then the second one's right here. And then the last one is in the area where is the first is right under this tree. So you just turn this on. You gotta turn the branches back on, activate your time vortex so you can run. But I would say you have about a minute to do this if you do it right. And if you do it right, you get some red orbs. And you get a message. Now I am become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. Yep. Get another Easter egg. It's kind of similar to the... I think there was a similar Easter egg in God of War 1 where it was at the Oracle's Temple where when you did the same... You did something similar and you would activate a message in the sky and you would get red orbs as a result. I forgot what the message was in God of War 1, but yeah. Yep. I mean, if you don't know this quote, it's a translation version of the quote. I forgot what the actual quote is. I think it's from, I don't remember, but it's coined by Oppenheimer. See, that's technically related. But you know, it's the famous Oppenheimer quote where after he created the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. But they just use it as a similar thing. Who's sending this message right now? I have no fucking clue. I don't remember the full extent of the Easter egg. I don't remember who's the one who says who is delivering this Easter egg. I think I saw one thing like a long time ago where it's Prometheus, but that doesn't add up to me. But I don't remember. I mean, yeah, Prometheus is dead because we killed him like way earlier in the game. But yeah, that was really it that's the Easter egg. You get some red orbs, you get some free red orbs, and you get a message in the sky. I don't remember what the last message was in God of War. This is the last time they do anything like this in the series. Like, there's no Easter eggs like this in 3 and onward. Well, then again, in like after 3, they do away with red orbs completely. Or no, I say after 3, but you know what I mean, like when they move on to Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know, I've noticed this. In God of War 1, you know, if you remember correctly back in God of War 1, you know, it took time for the upgrades to actually go through because they wanted you to be like 100% sure that you want to do this one. And then in God of War 2, they still do the same thing, but I've noticed that throughout this entire Let's Play, it would always just do it instantly, and I never understood what triggered that. Was it if you had the full amount? Like, if you had the right amount, it would automatically do it for you? Like, if you, like, I don't know. Like, it always just goes straight to the... That took too long. I got stuck on something and I couldn't move. Yeah, for this, what you have to do is you have to rise the thing up, and then the second you get it lined up, you basically gotta haul it to the other one and use the golden fleece to destroy the to block the eye beam. Though, in all honesty, they are a little generous with it like that. Like, see, it is blatantly going down before anything else, but yeah. Alright. And that's it. That was the puzzle. That one was a lot easier than the other one because we didn't have to go to the Bog of the Forgotten, fight the Barbarian, and then fight Uriel. We just had to kick the shit out of Perseus. He's fine. Oh yeah, this area. I think this is actually where we get our next weapon. Wrong guy. That wasn't even the guy who shot me. This one, I think I need time. Yeah, I need to use the time thing. But we are actually about to get our next weapon soon. Idiot. It's like I'm jumping the gun on that one. Yeah. But yeah, we are actually about to get our next sub-weapon because we haven't... yeah, because there's actually technically 2 sub-weapons in the game. And this one I actually really like using. Because it's fast. I like the spear. I really do. Yeah, by the way, if you remember back at the beginning when we first arrived to the island, we killed a guy who was riding a raven or whatever it was. Like, we killed that guy and we stabbed the bird with his spear, but we didn't take the spear. Well, now we can finally take the spear because we found the raven. Why Kratos didn't take the spear when he first killed this thing, I don't know, but now we have it. The Spear of Destiny. I mean, I don't use the sub-weapons that often, but I do like this one because it has some reach. Like, it has some nice reach, and I like it. Like, you see how it sweeps the area? It sweeps pretty good. Like, obviously not, I would say probably not as good as the Blades of Chaos, or Blades of Athena. I keep doing that by instinct. Well, because the Blades of Chaos are in pretty much every God of War game. Athena is only at the end of last game, Ghost of Sparta, and all of this game, and the beginning of 3. And then you get the Blades of Exile in 3. And then the Blades of Chaos are in 1, Chains of Olympus, Ascension, 2018, and Ragnarok. So, you know, it's just hard. I always forget that it's just the blades. Okay, it's the Blades of Athena right now. But I mean, they serve the same function essentially. Yeah, so we actually have to use this time block for 2 things. The first one is we need it to do the time to get those chests if you want them, because I believe in those chests are a Gorgon Eye or a Phoenix Feather, one of those 2. And one of the urns that you can use in New Game Plus. Actually, I'm actually kind of curious what the urns are. I know I don't find them all, but I will look it up. War 2 urns. Urns of Power. Yes. Let's see. Too slow. So the first one we have is the Urn of Gaia, which we got back at the Rhodes Palace, and you gain with that one you gain 10 times the normal amount of red orbs. And then the Urn of the Gorgons, I forgot this one, where it's after you. Okay, so I forgot it in the Bog of the Forgotten. Oops. And how you get it is once you obtain the Golden Fleece, return to the Ruins of the Forgotten and go to the area with the conveyor belt, a Fate statue, and a Gorgon gazing statues, wall statues. Use a Golden Fleece on the walls and then press the button that appears on screen to destroy the wall from which the gaze was coming from. The middle wall contains the urns, while the other 2 contain chests. Oh, so I really forgot to go back. By the way, the Urn of the Gorgons effect is weapon attacks will turn enemies into stone with repetitive contact. And then the Urn of Olympus, which we just got, its effect, it grants infinite magic. And then one, I know I missed this one. It's in the Urn of Prometheus, which is in Atlas. While climbing Atlas, there's a spot where Kratos must climb across the ceiling that has many large stalactites hanging from it. Shatter one of them to reveal an opening in the ceiling, climb up to it, and find an alcove that holds a chest. The urn is within that chest. Effects, it grants infinite rage of the Titans for the Prometheus one. The Urn of the Fates. This one can only be earned in the Challenge of the Titans. You have to achieve an overall ranking of mortal or better in Challenge of the Titans. And the effect is it extends the time of the combo meter, allowing longer combos and slows down enemies for a few seconds. And then the last one is the Urn of Poseidon. which you get by achieving an overall rank of Spartan or better in Challenge of the Titans. And the effect is it replaces Kronos' Rage with Poseidon's Rage. So there is a way to get Poseidon's Rage back. And I do remember... Okay, so I did 100% God of War 2 at one point, because I do remember getting the Urn of Poseidon. And I feel like if you got the Urn of Poseidon, you got everything else. But I do remember doing an entire playthrough of the game with... Poseidon's Rage. So, yeah, those are the Urns of Power. Not very hard at all. And... you know, yeah, very basic stuff. I think the best one is obviously the Urn of Gaia and the one that grants infinite magic. Those are the best two, but that's besides the point. But that is actually going to do it for this part of God of War 2. The next time we meet in God of War 2, we are going to continue on through the lowlands, just continuing on to the Sisters of Fate. So, see you guys next time, and take care.